Right now at noon, help is on the way for local parents. A new child care resource is set to open in Joplin. Details on who it's for and when it opens.
And temperatures heating up across the area under these sunny skies. Rain chances still on the way, though. Look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, a new push to secure the future water supplies in some southwest Missouri communities. My leaders say the time to act is now.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, ribbon cutting in Joplin marks the opening of a center which hopes to help remove barriers for families in recovery. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Noe. Lafayette House is a nonprofit which offers services to help those who have experienced domestic violence, sexual assault, and substance use disorders. Now, this week, the organization is opening Second Steps, a child care center for children up to 5 years old. The center welcomes both Lafayette House clients and community families who may be eligible for child care assistance programs. Those involved, they say the center will address a critical need in southwest Missouri.
But also with our substance use treatment services, with that primary population of women with children, but especially women who are pregnant or just gave birth, we want them to understand that they have a place to go with recovery and their children are still taken care of.
Well, today, an open house will be hosted for the Second Steps Child Care Facility from 4:30 to 6:30. Families currently enrolled or interested in doing so are encouraged to visit. Well, Special Olympics Kansas is looking for volunteers to help with some of this year's state games in Pittsburgh. The events are coming up July 18th and 19th. Powerlifting will take place all day Thursday at Pittsburgh High School, and that night athletes will hit the dance floor for an 80s themed celebration. Then on Friday the 19th, flag football kicks off indoors at the Plaster Center and Kearney Smith Stadium.
We're looking for people that can help spot, help judge, but we also have a position called Fans in the Stands. So you can come and we have posters you can make for the athletes just to simply make them feel more supported and celebrate inclusion all in one.
More than 100 volunteer spots are still available. To sign up or learn more, just head over to KOAMnewsnow.com. Let's check in with Chris Warner for a look at the forecast.
Yeah, it's getting a bit on the toasty side out there this afternoon, already into the low 80s. It's clear skies, though, from downtown Pittsburgh, looking fantastic. And from the Modoc camera, 20th and Rangeline, looking back to the east, also looking pretty good this morning, well, now into this afternoon. Yesterday started at 58, so a little below normal, made it to 82, so also just a little below normal and not quite to record levels out there. Those skies are clear, and it is again heating up. 83 in Joplin. Winds are calm. Dew point humidity up there, but not by a lot, so thankfully it doesn't feel too terribly muggy. On the Kansas side, Pittsburgh sitting at 82. Same situation, dew point and humidity, and the winds are variable at 2. Temperatures around the region, of course, got a couple of upper 70s, 80 in Stockton. Outside of that, heating up, low to mid 80s out there. We'll eventually reach the upper 80s for our highs, start falling back as we head into the afternoon. Clear skies through the evening, and then late tonight we'll start to see a few more clouds out there as we become partly cloudy, and that's ahead of slowly but surely increasing rain chances over the next few days. Details on all of that here in just a few more minutes. Lise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, towns across southwest Missouri are working to secure their futures when it comes to water supplies as their communities grow. Chris Bryant looks at how one city is planning ahead.
We're just diversifying our municipal water sources. Right now, the city of Ozark relies upon groundwater.
For the city of Ozark, its water supply currently comes from the ground, but a bill introduced by the city would allow Ozark to enter into a contract with the Southwest Missouri Joint Municipal Water Utility Commission.
This would provide surface water, and as you can tell recently, we've got an embarrassment of riches of surface water.
Communities across 16 counties make up the Joint Commission.
Us and our neighboring communities, we've got about 17 partners right now in Southwest Missouri Water Coalition.
Ozark says customers should not see an increase in their bills as a part of the coalition, but cities will have to start planning now for the future.
We'll be actually conveying that water and providing it to the communities. We're talking years down the road here, but yes, at some point we'll have to build the infrastructure necessary to get that water to the communities.
The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has reallocated roughly 38 million gallons of water per day from Stockton Lake for use in the future.
Like I said, this is phase one in making sure that we have adequate water sources for the future, and this reallocation has been earmarked for this area.
For Ozark, its city uses between 3 and 4 million gallons per day under its current aquifer supply of groundwater.
What this would do is provide 1.5 million gallons per day from an alternative source.
So far, in addition to Ozark, the city of Willard and Nixa are introducing similar resolutions this week.
We realize that water is a finite resource, it's an important resource, and we're trying, like I said, to diversify, but also to efficiently use what we're pulling out of the ground each day.
And work is already underway in Joplin to secure an alternative water supply. Last year, the City Council approved a $2.5 million allocation designated for future water supply development. Now, it'll be funded by the Cent's 3/8 cent capital improvement sales tax. And utility work at the intersection of 20th Street and Country Club Drive in Joplin is running behind schedule due to recent rain and storms. The area remains closed to through traffic while crews install a new water main ahead of a major road widening project. Local access can get through with soft closures in place on surrounding streets. Now, once complete, the $9.8 million project will expand 20th Street to 3 lanes and add a path for pedestrians and cyclists. The major electric rate change is hitting Miami utility customers, and it starts this month. The Miami Special Utility Authority approves a 3-year electric rate increase to keep pace with rising power costs from the Grand River Dam Authority. Starting this month, customers pay 12% more, with potential rise coming in 2026 and 2027. The city says the rate plan supports $28 million in capital projects, including smart meters and substation upgrades. City Manager Tyler Klein says these improvements keep the system modern and attractive for business growth. And changes for Bourbon County voters ahead of their next election in November. Last year, voters decided to expand the county commission from 3 to 5 districts, meaning the county redrew commission district lines, and polling locations in Refield and Bronson are being eliminated. And the county clerk's office will send postcards in late July detailing new district and polling place information. Still ahead in the redistricting, the commission will vote on term limits for districts 4 and 5 in coming weeks. Well, coming up, day 5 of protests in Los Angeles. We'll have the latest. And later, we're making deviled egg macaroni salad in the Mr. Food test kitchen. Well, Pittsburgh police are investigating 2 incidents of shots fired on consecutive nights in the same neighborhood. Both cases happened in Pittsburgh's West Hudson neighborhood, prompting police response both times on Friday and Saturday nights. Officers found bullet holes in vehicles and apartments near 202 and 219 West Hudson, but no one was hurt. Investigators collected multiple shell casings at the scene Friday and another casing Saturday night. The Pittsburgh Police Department continues working to identify any suspects. Authorities in Los Angeles are bracing for a 5th day of demonstrations over deportation sweeps by ICE agents. Hundreds of Marines have now been deployed to the city, along with 2,000 more National Guard troops at President Trump's discretion. Protests against immigration enforcement are now popping up in other cities nationwide. Danya Bacchus reports from Los Angeles.
Tensions boiled over in downtown Los Angeles overnight following a day of mostly peaceful protest over ICE deportation raids.
I don't even know where we can go and be safe, where we can express ourselves without feeling intimidation of the police.
As officers moved in to break up crowds, some protesters threw flares and fireworks at police, resulting in dozens of arrests.
There is no tolerance for criminal activity under the guise of protest.
Bypassing California's governor, President Trump sent 2,000 additional National Guard troops to Los Angeles Monday to protect federal buildings, along with 700 U.S. Marines.
The introduction of federal military personnel without direct coordination creates logistical challenges and risks confusion during critical incidents.
I think the president is absolutely 100% right to step in.
Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass reacted to the deployment in an interview with CBS Evening News co-anchor Maurice Dubois.
When ICE came in, the raids happened, the federal government takes over the power away from the governor. That's all an experiment. This has not been done before. It was not asked for. It is not warranted.
Demonstrations against ICE are now spreading to other cities, including San Francisco.
The people in our federal government who are making decisions to put troops on the streets and to round up members of our community need to see that we're not with them.
In Austin, police used tear gas to disperse crowds gathered at the state capitol, demanding an end to the Trump administration's deportation campaign. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
If you love deviled eggs, then you're going to love what we're making today. It's easy, budget-friendly, and very tasty.
And we have more rain chances on the way, but not before we get a little bit on the hot side. A look at your forecast when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon. So if you haven't been outside yet, it is a bit toasty out there. I actually haven't been outside yet either, but we've looked at the temperature data and it is certainly heating up. Let's start with that quick look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Skies are clear and we've got plentiful sunshine. It's nice to be able to dry out. It would be nice if it didn't have to get so hot in the process of, but we've had a lot of rain over the last couple of weeks and we have more on the way, but at least not today. We're going to hold on to those clear skies and hot temperatures pushing into the afternoon. We're going to go into the even low 90s. We're looking at even more 90s the further west you go. But our temperatures today still getting up there. Not quite to record levels for some. For others, we may be at record levels, especially again further west. Now, overnight tonight into tomorrow, skies start to become partly cloudy, and we'll see more of those clouds as we go into our Wednesday. So our Wednesday is going to be a mix of partly to mostly cloudy skies. However, winds will begin to shift out of the south, and the clouds will not stop us from heating up as we go into the afternoon. So tomorrow, another pretty hot day. With that said, the opportunity for a pop-up storm or two is starting to increase just a bit. Still looking, at least initially, mainly on the Missouri side, but we could get a pop-up shower or thunderstorm. Now, once we get beyond that, heading into Thursday morning, we're starting to see some new information coming in, some new data. It's going to be, we're not looking still at severe weather. I do want to emphasize that very quickly, especially after everything we've been through this severe weather season. We're not presently looking at a severe threat rolling into Thursday and Friday, but we do have some thunderstorms could roll through on the Kansas side early Thursday morning. As we go through the day Thursday, we will continue with scattered showers and thunderstorms, gradually increasing in coverage, rolling through the afternoon and into the evening. And you see the swirl with this, that's that low pressure system. That's going to help bring in these showers and storms. But again, at this point, we don't have any areas highlighted for a severe threat, of course. If that changes, we'll let you know. But it is kind of some good news that we're getting a little closer and we don't have any areas highlighted, which means there's nothing really standing out at this point in terms of a severe threat. Then we go into our Friday and we'll continue with additional shower and thunderstorm chances. So again today, upper 80s for most of us, and honestly in our far western counties, a couple of low 90s not out of the question. We'll be back into the mid 60s tonight, so milder tonight than where we were this morning. In fact, Nevada, for example, you dropped down to 50 early this morning. While those partly cloudy skies, a mix of partly to mostly cloudy skies heading into the afternoon. Get a couple of pop-up showers, thunderstorms, still mainly on the Missouri side at this point for tomorrow afternoon, and really between still about 5 and 10, and we're still going to be hot, upper 80s once again. We go a little further down the road and we'll start to see those opportunities again for showers, thunderstorms as we go through our Thursday, as we go into our Friday, and they will continue at least into our Saturday as well. Both Thursday, Friday starting to look a little better for those scattered storm chances. But I do want to emphasize too, it looks to be scattered storms, so at least we'll get some pauses here and there, and those rain chances begin to wrap up Saturday, which is why also we start to heat back up Saturday. See the clouds, the rain, they bring our temperatures down a little bit for a couple of days, and then it stops and we start heating back up. Next week, drying out again and back into the upper 80s, pushing close to 90.
All right, not too bad, Chris. Thanks. Well, stick around. We're making deviled egg macaroni salad in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. Well, today's Mr. Food recipe is another fantastic 2-in-1 recipe that'll leave everyone at the family gathering or potluck asking for more. Howard's making deviled egg macaroni salad in the Mr. Food test kitchen.
To many of us, summer get-togethers have to have two things: deviled eggs and a good old-fashioned macaroni salad. And since they go so well together, we combined them into one dish that delivers twice the flavor. And the best part, it goes together in no time. We start by cooking some macaroni, like usual. Here I'm using an elbow that's a bit larger than normal, so it'll hold more of the flavor once everything's mixed. While that cools, we mix together some mayo, mustard, pickle relish, celery, and some hard-boiled eggs that we've chopped up, and then give it a good mix. Now, we toss this with the pasta and season it with a bit of salt and pepper. You see, it has all the ingredients of deviled eggs mixed with all the yumminess of macaroni salad. Maybe garnish it with a few deviled eggs and a shake or two of paprika, and it's ready to serve. And if you put this out instead of your usual go-to pasta salad, get ready for lots of oohs and ahs. It's that good. I do hope you'll go online and get the recipe for our deviled egg macaroni salad so you can jumpstart your get-togethers with a 2-in-1 favorite. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, and I look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow for even more Ooh, It's So Good.
Well, as always, you can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Now, all you have to do is head on over to our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. Now, let's take a look at the 4-state market prices.
All right, so again, heating up today, tomorrow, back into the upper 80s, getting close to 90. Couple isolated storms tomorrow evening, mainly on the Missouri side. Scattered storms start building Thursday through Saturday. At this point, no severe weather expected, but I got to watch out for some heavy rainfall. Could lead to some localized flooding in the areas. If we haven't had enough of that, could get a little more. And we heat up and dry out next week.
All right, Chris, thanks. Dowdy up first later on today.
Lots coming up at 5. For starters, most of us have been there, hitting reply all instead of one person, oops, or sending an email to the wrong contact. Well, now new technology is helping to save face and fix those digital slip-ups. Plus, McDonald County Schools kick off paving projects across the district. We're going to visit Pineville Elementary for a look at that process. And Joplin's storm sirens sounded Sunday afternoon as straight-line winds moved in. But some families were caught off guard when school storm shelters didn't open. We're going to break down what happened. Join us for those stories, a lot more, of course. It's coming up on KOAM News at 5.
All right, Dal, thanks. And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. Have a great rest of your day.